Imagine a place where the knowledge of the entire ancient world was gathered. Scrolls containing science, math, medicine, philosophy, history, stored in a single building. And then it vanished, consumed by flames. The Great Library of Alexandria was more than a building. It was the heart of ancient learning. And when it burned, we didn't just lose books. We lost the future. We remember kings and empires, conquests and catastrophes, but the loss of the Great Library of Alexandria is harder to measure. It didn't just erase pages, it erased ideas, possibilities, progress. What knowledge did it hold? Who destroyed it? And how might our world be different if it had survived? This is the story of a library that sought to collect all knowledge, and the fire that silenced it forever. The dream of universal knowledge. The idea was simple: collect every book, every scroll, every record from every culture, and store them in one place. That place became the Great Library of Alexandria, founded in the 3rd century BCE by Ptolemy III, a general under Alexander the Great. The library wasn't a quiet corner of shelves. It was part of the Mausoleon, a temple to the Muses and the world's first research institution. It welcomed scholars, thinkers, poets, scientists from Egypt, Greece, India, Mesopotamia, and beyond. At its height, the library may have held 400,000 to 700,000 scrolls. Ships arriving in Alexandria were searched. Their books and scrolls were copied, and often the originals kept. The goal: nothing less than a complete archive of human thought. It was a revolutionary concept: to gather knowledge not just to preserve it, but to study, expand, and share it. What was inside? We may never know the full contents of the library, but imagine this: lost plays by Euripides, Aeschylus, and Sophocles. Medical texts from ancient Egypt describing brain surgery and diagnoses. Mathematical treatises from India explaining concepts of zero. Astronomical records from Babylon documenting thousands of years of star movements. Theories on heliocentrism centuries before Copernicus. Some scholars believe the library also contained engineering manuals on automata, hydraulics, and machines. Historical records from now lost civilizations. Philosophical works questioning the nature of reality, ethics, and the universe. Think of it as the ancient internet, an interconnected web of wisdom and knowledge. And then think of it all lost. The great minds of Alexandria. The library wasn't just a collection, it was a living, breathing center of learning. It drew brilliant minds, including Eratosthenes, who calculated the Earth's circumference with astonishing accuracy using shadows and geometry. Herophilos, who dissected human bodies and concluded that the brain, not the heart, was the center of thought. Hypatia, a mathematician, philosopher, and one of the first recorded female scholars, who taught and wrote at the library until her tragic death. These weren't just thinkers. They were scientists, engineers, and philosophers, pushing the limits of what humanity could understand. Imagine if their work had been preserved and expanded. Imagine if their ideas had been taught across centuries without interruption. The world we live in might be unimaginably more advanced. Who burned the library? Ask who destroyed the Great Library, and you won't get a simple answer. Because it didn't burn all at once. Instead, it suffered a series of blows. 1. Julius Caesar's fire, 48 BCE. While fighting in Alexandria, Caesar set fire to the ships in the harbor. The flames may have spread to the library's storage, destroying tens of thousands of scrolls. 2. The rise of Christianity, 391 CE. When the Roman Empire turned Christian, the Serapeum, a branch of the library, was destroyed by mobs. Scrolls were seen as pagan relics. The pursuit of knowledge was replaced with religious dogma. 3. The Arab conquest, 642 CE. According to legend, Caliph Omar ordered the burning of the remaining scrolls. If the books agree with the Quran, they are redundant. If they disagree, they are dangerous. But modern historians debate this story. Some say the library was already lost by then. Truth is, it wasn't one villain. It was war, ideology, and neglect that erased it. And each act wasn't just an attack on a building, it was an attack on human memory itself. What the world lost. The burning of the Great Library wasn't just a historical tragedy. It was a rupture in the timeline of progress. Imagine, if heliocentric theory had spread 1,000 years earlier, if ancient engineers had pioneered steam or water power in the 3rd century BCE, if medical knowledge had evolved unbroken since Herophilos, how many discoveries were delayed? How many lives lost to curable disease? How much longer did it take to reach the Renaissance? Simply because we had to start over. The silence left by the scrolls is deafening. Worse yet, we don't even know what we lost. The only thing more terrifying than the destruction is the possibility that some ideas never returned. The library's loss is a permanent shadow cast over human history. But it's also a lesson. That knowledge is fragile, and without care, we can lose everything. The Great Library of Alexandria was a monument to human ambition. It sought to collect every thought, every story, every theory. And when it disappeared, so did part of who we could have been. But its story still speaks to us. It challenges us to protect what we know, to seek truth, and to never take learning for granted. If this story stirred your imagination, give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe for more stories from history's shadows. What do you think we lost in the flames? Tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear your theories. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and never stop seeking the truth.